in like one swipe, Apple went at Jawbone, Fitbit, and any other one-off type independent company. So I'll stop right there, and I'll say, so item number 13, when you finally had that moment, that Dick Tracy moment, where you tap on the phone and you go to speak to your Apple Watch via Siri. You raise your wrist and say, "Hey Siri," or use the digital crown to ask a question, set a reminder, get directions, and more. Yeah, I think they had a lot of people at that point. But let's just real quickly talk about picking a watch face that fits your mood or the occasion. From the traditional watch-like face, or something more akin to like your smartphone, like the lock screen, or subtle animations like Mickey Mouse. Click on the Mickey Mouse above for the watch face options. So you got to ask yourself, what type of activity tracking does it have? And I mentioned before, Jawbone, Fitbit. I'm sure everyone's up in arms. The Apple Watch features an accelerometer and built-in heart rate meter, and uses the GPS and Wi-Fi in your iPhone to measure your distance. Okay? So if you ever wanted to get those 10,000 steps, but you left your Fitbit device home, or you left your favorite tracking device home, guess what? You're being tracked. So with iOS 8.2, you also get the new Activity app, where fitness data from your Apple Watch will be collected once you pair your phone with the watch. The Apple Watch will use the data to suggest fitness goals and congratulate you on fitness milestones. So it's like you're going to have your own little personal trainer with you. It's going to keep track of movement with 3 rings that chart calories burned, exercise, and how often you stood up. So the idea is to complete a ring each day based on the nutrition and activity goals you set for yourself. I mean, I think about the folks like at Retrofit, and I would be going bananas. But the real question is, would you be going bananas, or would you be trying to lock on and say, hey, okay, this is something I want to get involved in, Item number 19, if you've been sitting for too long, the watch will give you a little buzz and remind you to get up and move around. I don't even know what to say about that. It's just like you had your own personal motivator right there. So with those first 19, features, the big question comes down to how much does it cost? I mean, the Apple Watch Sport is $349. It's 38 millimeter watch, and for $399 is the 42 millimeter one. It's going to come with some different sports bands. They come in multiple colors. Then you have the mid-range watch that starts around $549, but goes up to close to $1,100 depending on the band. You choose one of the 3 different leather straps, a stainless steel link bracelet. Then you have the high-end Apple Watch Edition, which is made from custom rose or yellow 18-karat gold alloy, starts at $10,000. You got to ask yourself, how do I get it? The Apple Watch arrives in Australia, Canada, China, France, Germany, Hong Kong, Japan, UK, and the U.S. on Friday, April 24th. I mean, there's previews going on all throughout the world. Like I said, you can buy it on April 24th at the Apple stores, apple.com, specialty stores all over the world. The big question is, at least the big question for me is, who will buy the $10,000 Apple Watch? So with that, that's my take on Apple. I see someone in the queue. I'm going to plug them in. And I think we have Nicole Monique on the line.
You do, and Ted, I owe you and your listeners a huge apology. So I apologize that I couldn't be at the top of the hour. So, and I owe you big time. Just know that.
Oh, don't worry. When I come down to Atlanta, yes, we will get there. Trust me, I won't forget it.
All right, I got you. Any place off the barbecue you want, just let me know, okay?
You got it. You got it. So Nicole, I have Dr. Chris Meletis scheduled to join us at 8:30.
Okay.
So we can go for a quick discussion. I mean, but there's so much we got to talk about.
I know.
Oh my goodness. So,
well, that's what I said. I owe you. Please invite me back. Cause I'd love
of course
to.
You're coming back.
So, okay, great.
Of course you're coming back. Come on now. Now, my good friend Nicole Monique. I mean, she has a great show. That's what she says. Sports. This is the condensed version because we have someone else joining because it was going to be a total yacht fest, but we'll save that for another time.
Definitely.
But I'm gonna tell you, I love the show. That's what she said. Sports. From the moment that we've met in National Association of Black Journalists a few years back in Orlando, Florida, I just love the entire presentation. I loved how your company ran and how you did your business. And I was, I'm equally proud to call you, a friend. And I got to tell you, I mean, there's so much that's happening in your camp. It's kind of hard for me to keep up. So just give us an overview of where you are, what you're doing, what's happening.
Well, first of all, thank you so much because, like you, I consider you a friend. It's cool to be able to meet people and you just click right away, and that's how it was for you and also when I met Hezi. But this has just really been an exciting time. A lot has happened in a short amount of time. We started out with a podcast. And, like everybody else starting out with a podcast, for some, they probably think of it as a hobby. I knew I wanted it to be my full-time career because my background is in broadcasting. So, taking it from the podcast to one radio station, and Ted, I don't think I've told you this recently, but in June I'll actually be moving to a larger radio station.
Really? Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
So you're moving from 1100 a.m.?
Yeah, we're moving from 1100 a.m. Our last show was actually the show that you participated on, and then we're moving to Talk 920. We'll be the only sports show. They're giving us another 2-hour platform, and we're just really excited about it because it's a bigger station. We're going to be in the heart of Buckhead for all those who know the Atlanta area. And, just growing, just building better relationships with the, local sports teams and doing more in the community and, like you, just really being out there hustling, staying focused, and keeping my eyes on the prize. So, I was on ESPN3 recently. I did CNN's HLN over Super Bowl. They wanted a piece on women in football. So it's definitely been a blessing, meeting the right people and then also taking advantage of opportunities. So, onward and upward.
I mean, the best thing about you, Nicole, that I've learned from you personally is you don't sit and wait around for anything. I mean, you see an opportunity and you grab it. And that's what has me so impressed about you.
Oh, well, thank you. That and also, too, I just think with the industry that we're in, too, it's very, as you know, it's very male-dominated. I don't have the luxury really to even just sit back because I may sometimes get that thing of, oh, you're a woman doing a sports show. So I don't have time to either wait on folks or, wait for somebody to crack the door. I'm trying to just bulldoze through the door, or if somebody does crack it, I'm kicking the door open. So, and, that I think, and it's also about relationships, just like, with us. I think meeting the right people has been key.
Yeah, definitely. And I can tell you from this perspective, the ability to do segments in areas where, you're not heard, or the ability to do segments in, and opportunities that you get, you got to jump on it. You really do have to jump on it, and you have to take it. And that's where the inspiration comes from. Just when you sent me the note about HLN, And I was like, really? I was like, oh my goodness, she's doing it real big. She's really doing it really big. So, okay.
Well, I think, people out there, if they don't believe in networking, let me tell you, not only does it work, but it's also old school. You got to let people know what you want to do. Like, if you have a dream or a passion, you have to let people know. And it's not even letting people know like you're bragging on it, but just let people know like either what you'd like to do. You never know who that person is going to be listening, and then you also never know who's going to be in the room. And I was in a situation, I was over a friend's house, and she invited another, woman, and we were just kind of hanging out, watching TV, talking. Well, this woman had been laid off from CNN, and she said, if I ever get my job back, I'm going to call you. And, it was one of those things where months later, it was her words. Not only did she get her job back, her first story was Women in Football, and she thought of me. So, I'm big on impressions and just how you treat people, because you never know, who's in the room and who's listening and who's watching you.
That is so true. I mean, there's a topic that we were going to touch tonight. We're not touching it tonight. I want you to come back and where we're going to, where it's near and dear to you. I mean, because I want to do you justice and I want to do our listeners justice. The folks that are going to hear it, whether, they're hearing it live or the folks that are going to hear it through syndication, I want you to tell your story about you personally with children, with, adoption.
Yeah.
I definitely want to hear that story the next time that you come back. So we're going to definitely schedule you very shortly. But I got to tell you, Nicole, this has been the craziest show because at the start of it, and that's the thing is you're a pro, you get it, you understand. So there's never ever a perfect show.
No, never. But the thing is, the key is how you handle it, because your audience doesn't know.
Right. You're right. And it's like you got to be good with it. You really got to be good with it, because you're just like, okay, I've given folks one number to dial in, and they're dialing in on another number. And I'm like, what in the world is going on here? But that's the great thing about it. I mean, I don't know. I will tell you this. I'm happy to hear about your show and everything that you're working on. I'm equally happy to just see how you're progressing. Because, like I said, it's been almost 2 years since we've all met up. And I can tell you, I mean, it's hard for me to even imagine that, like, you, myself, Hezi, and the rest of us would still be talking with each other and still involved and engaged how we are, and talking about, okay, hey, here's what I learned this way. And I'm like, hey, this is the situation that happened on this station down the way, and, here's some things that you need to look out for. But that's the type of networking that you've mentioned before.
Yeah, definitely.
So I'm going to tell you like this. We're going to put this, I don't know, we kind of have to put this in the parking lot right now, Nicole.
Well, like I said, I owe you big time. Yeah, I owe you big time. Please let me know another date. I'd love to talk about my journey on becoming a parent, and because I'm sure a lot of people can relate. And, it's a story I'd love to tell, because it's definitely a testimony.
Definitely. Nicole, tell us the best way we can get in contact with you via social media.
Twitter, I'm at TWSS Sports. Also Facebook, that's what She Said Sports. Instagram, I'm at hashtag She Said Sports. And then my website, it's TWSSsports.com. So love to hear from folks. Like I said, we're starting up the new station in June, just kind of taking a break, but we're still big on social media and always trying to give updates. So thank you so much, Ted, for the opportunity to be on. And like I said, I owe you big time, so just let me know. I'll definitely come back.
Okay, definitely. Thanks again, Nicole.
No problem. Have a great night.
You too.
All right.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Folks, we're going to take a quick break, but we'll be right back.